This is the Sig Sauer P938 that I picked up today. It was used on consignment at a local FFL. I almost bought one of these sometime in the past. I was on the fence about it and left, concluded that I wanted it and called the shop and said, hey, put that in the back. And they were like, oh, somebody just bought it. I had literally been looking at it 20 minutes before that. So that was about 6 months ago. So it got away from me. Found this one today and went ahead and got it. Wasn't going to let that happen again. But I also have the Smith & Wesson CSX, which is relatively new from Smith & Wesson. I knew that they were similar designs. I knew that the CSX was a little bit biting off the P938, but I didn't realize how much till I actually got it in my hands and compared the two. So I figured I'd just do a quick video just to talk about the very superficial, high-level differences between these two pistols, because although they're very similar, there is some subtle differences that make them vastly different guns. Now, as far as the similarities, you can see that they're pretty much the same size, almost exactly the same size. And then you have a lot of similarities in design, being the shape, the overall shape, especially you can see of the trigger guard there. I mean, they're almost, this one's got a little bit of blockiness, this one's a little round, but right here, they're very similar. The both being hammer fired external safety single action pistols, making them very similar. So 1911 style, if you will, single action, very light, crisp triggers, hammer fired. Both of them have ambidextrous safeties, which is very nice for the, lefties out there, and the righties, I guess. And they both have the kind of short 1911 style triggers. So that pretty much is where the similarities end. Just the overall design and the fit and finish, the look and feel, very similar between the two handguns. Now, things that are also different would be this on the P938 is a little bit more of a traditional, if you will, external safety, whereas the CSX has this very flush fit against the frame. As a matter of fact, I've seen some people complain about that. Although it works great, I would actually say the CSX external safety functions a little bit crisper and easier than this one. This one's actually a lot harder as far as the force to engage it compared to that one. But you can get a better bite on it with your thumb, I guess, as opposed to this more flush fit one. But I'd say the biggest difference that would be a deciding factor for me, apart from the fact that we're setting aside the known trigger complaints on the CSX, which I have not seen anything similar for the P938. Setting that aside, the biggest difference is the capacity. So the CSX, which is a newer pistol, has a double stack configuration where you can get 10 or 12 round magazines. So here's the other one here. You can get 10 and 12 round magazines for the CSX, where with the Sig Sauer P938 you're stuck with pretty much 6 or 7. Extended magazines do exist for the P938, but again, 6 or 7 rounds plus 1 compared to 10 or 12 plus 1 is kind of a big difference. So beyond that, it comes down to personal preference of the trigger style and maybe even brand loyalty. I mean, I bought the CSX because at that time I was getting into hammer-fired metal guns from Smith & Wesson, being the 59, 659, and 5906 series of pistols. And this being brand new during that time, it seemed like a fitting choice. Now, the P938, I'm just, quite frankly, more into SIGs now. So also there's a little bit of a track record and proven, I guess, reliability with the 938 compared to the CSX, and we don't have the known trigger issues with the CSX with the P938. So overall, that's the biggest differences, I would say. The similarities being that they're both small, pocket carry, micro 9s that are hammer fired, that are 9mm, that are the same shape and overall morphology, and the biggest differences being the cosmetics and the capacity. So that's my brief video of the Sig Sauer P938 compared to the Smith & Wesson CSX. So coming up soon, we're going to do the CSX as compared to the Sig Sauer P365. That is actually a requested video, and we got a couple other requested videos coming up. So, all right, guys, hope you enjoyed. Until next time, later.